Hey, what's up everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the what's next on Sam Goodman, the undefeated #1 contender at 122 pounds super bantamweight, following another successful victory over veteran Miguel Flores as he defeated Flores with a convincing 12-round unanimous decision. Now before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate any and all support that I get as I continue to build my channel up here. I'm at 580 subscribers. I want to get to 600 by the end of the year. Help me get to my goal, guys. The way we've been rolling, I'm confident I can get there, and I appreciate every one of you. So to Sam Goodman now and what possibly could be coming up for him. So right now, well, first off, the victory over Miguel Flores, you know, I like that he gained up to 125, technically a featherweight, for the fight with Flores, a veteran. You know, Flores last year fought to a controversial draw with Abner Mares. So he's a veteran, he's been there, he's done that. I don't think a lot of people thought he was going to beat Sam Goodman, but the fact that he's just naturally bigger than him, you know, does make you wonder, you know, put things in perspective and start to go, well, maybe the size will be a difference. And the only way that I thought the size was a difference for Flores was that, you know, he just was probably tougher than he would have been at 122. That's all that was the difference, you know. But Sam Goodman weathered any kind of storm. It was competitive in certain rounds, but Sam Goodman just outworked them, and he was there the whole fight, and he boxed well, and he landed good shots. So a good, solid victory for him, following his career best win earlier this year when he defeated Rashidi Ellis by a split decision. And now Goodman's in the driver's seat. He's the #1 contender in both the IBF and the WBO. So that's a big deal, especially with Inoue and Tapales being officially confirmed for the undisputed super bantamweight title at 122, as they're going to collide on December 26th. So the winner of that fight is going to have mandatories due, and two of them are going to be, two of those governing bodies are going to be Sam Goodman. So we'll see what happens, and we're going to run through the top 10 right now and see what could happen for Sam Goodman, some of the scenarios. So we start with #1 unified champ, Naoya Inoue, the monster. He holds the WBC and WBO belts. If he defeats Marlon Tapales, which most people feel that he will, and I feel that way, you know, Sam Goodman's going to be #1 contender to 2 of his 4 belts. Now, we know that WBA has priority over the IBF right now, and the WBA and IBF titles are held by Tapales. The WBA had to clear the path for Tapales to be able to fight Inoue. They had to say, go ahead and take a step back. But once the title is undisputed, especially if Inoue decides to hold on to that belt, the governing bodies are going to have to decide who gets the next shot at Inoue. And I don't know if Inoue is going to want to fight Sam Goodman. I don't know if Sam Goodman is a big enough name for him yet. You know, Goodman's good, he's undefeated, but what has he done really? He's defeated Rashidi Ellis, which is impressive, but Rashidi Ellis was not a big name either. You know, he was just a good undefeated prospect on the rise. Well, he was better than a prospect. He was a contender. He was on the rise, but he hadn't really burned any houses down yet, you know? I'm leaning towards the less likely that Inoue, if he stays at 122, fights Goodman, just because I think the only 2 fights that he's going to want to take at 122 after becoming undisputed is going to be either Luis Nery, or who's his WBC's #1 contender, or Casimero. So it's up in the air right now. I think it's possible because, you know, Goodman does bring a good fan base from Australia, but I don't think Inoue is going to fight him. Next is Marlon Tapales, the other unified champion. Tapales, I think, is going to get knocked out against Inoue. I don't think Tapales is going to really be super competitive. And once he gets knocked out against Inoue, Sam Goodman's not going to look Tapales's way unless it would be for a vacant title. And I don't think Tapales, after the way I believe he's going to look against Inoue, I don't think Tapales is going to get a crack at a vacant title. Or, you know, and Sam Goodman's going to want to fight him. So I don't think so. Then you got MJ Marajan Akhmadaliev. He's already signed on for a WBA eliminator. I forget the guy's name that he's fighting. So a showdown with Sam Goodman, I'd like to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Then you got Luis Nery, who's a WBC's #1 ranked contender. I don't see this one either because he's with the PBC. You know, well, no, he's not with the PBC anymore. I don't think he is, at least. But he very well could be. But that, honestly, the promotions doesn't have anything to do with it now that I'm thinking about it. I really think it's more that Nery has already worked himself in position to fight for a world title by defeating Azat Havanasian. And I think it's more likely that Nery tries to become the WBC champion if he doesn't get Inoue in the ring. He fights for the vacant title, and Sam Goodman fights for a vacant title, and then maybe these two guys next year, late in the year, could talk about unifying, but I don't think Nery's next for Sam Goodman. Then there's Azat Havanasian, one of my favorite fighters. I don't think Goodman's going to want to fight a guy like Havanasian unless he had to next, because Goodman's really going to want to fight for a vacant title if he doesn't get Inoue. But I don't think he's going to want to fight Azat Havanasian, not next. Then there's Rais Salim in a rematch. I'd like to see a rematch, but Goodman doesn't have to take it, and I think he's loading up to fight for a vacant title if it's not Inoue. Liam Davies, this is a good matchup right here. I think that'd be a real good matchup. And I honestly think because Davies was kind of ranked decent in a couple of the governing bodies, I wouldn't be surprised if Davies got a bump. But I think it's on the less likely side right now because I don't think Davies is ranked highly in the governing bodies yet. And then there's veteran Ionut Baluta. Another guy that Goodman's kind of passed up, but I wouldn't be surprised if he fought him. But especially if, like, Inoue decided to defend against Nery or somebody else first, that they were a high priority and Goodman just wanted to stay busy, I think Baluta would be a good opponent for him. But Baluta's an upset-minded guy. He's a guy that comes in and really ruins the party for fighters. But I don't think Sam Goodman would be too worried about Baluta. So it's really, for Sam Goodman, if he doesn't get the winner of Inoue and Tapales next, I really believe for Goodman it's going to be either staying busy because Inoue or Tapales keep the undisputed title intact and have to make a more high priority mandatory first, or Sam Goodman's going to fight for a vacant belt. He's going to fight for either the vacant IBF or the vacant WBO belts. Shit, maybe they'll come together and decide that he can fight for both. You know, we'll just have to wait and see. But I definitely think Sam Goodman's on the right path. I think he's got more than a 50% chance of landing a title shot next. But even if he doesn't, he can stay busy while the title is being defended. And then he's probably going to be getting a shot in the second half of the year. So we'll see what happens. But that's it. That's what I got. That's my what's next on undefeated super bantamweight contender at 122 pounds, Sam Goodman from Australia. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.